Welcome to the Sports Source Players Only meeting on SportsSource.tv and our YouTube channel. Appreciate you joining us. Brought to you by Blue Smoke Cigar, located at the corner of Kingston Pike and South Peters Road. Tremendous place to enjoy a fine cigar, which we're going to be talking about cigars in a second. If you are a cigar smoker, you can go down there and get a membership there. Now, you can buy cigars even if you're not a member. They actually have a little area with nice seating and some TVs if you're not a member. If you're a member, though, you get access to your own locker. You get the card tables. You get the golf simulator, leather seats, multiple giant HD screens. It's a great place to relax. Blue Smoke Cigar. Go down there and check them out, or check them out at bluesmoke-cigar.com. Okay. I'm here with, we've shaken it up. Usually we sit the other way around, but I wanted the Sunshine Crew down here for a week. We got Sterling Hinton, Daniel Hood, we got Will Overstreet, and right down there we got Brian Randolph. We got all these VFLs with me. Going to answer some of the questions. I picked three that we had from last night, this morning. First one, I'm just going to lay it out here. Huge furor over Butch Jones smoking a cigar last night. Now, Brian, you played for the man.
Oh, yeah.
I know your feelings for the man, so I'm going to let you start. The question that was most often asked was, wasn't this disrespectful of Butch Jones to smoke a cigar? Do your thing.
Oh, I was appalled when I saw it. It's definitely disrespectful, but it's also fake too. I just sit in so many team meetings, talk about I hate Alabama, can't stand them, Nick Saban this, Nick Saban that, and then the next year after getting beat by 38 by them, you go and start smoking cigars and getting doused in Gatorade like you're the head coach. He's a quality control coach there, so it was way too much for my take, and I just know him personally, and it was kind of fake because he hates Alabama.
Well, but here's the thing: you see that a lot in sports. I mean,
yeah.
you like who you. At one time or another, I worked at Channel 10 down the street. Now I'm at Channel 6. I used to love Channel 10, hate Channel 6. Now I'm at Channel 6, hate Channel 10.
Oh yeah.
So
True.
that's part of it. But that's interesting though. To me, disrespectful. I probably wouldn't have done it because I just wouldn't have wanted it to be on social media. And I would also be sitting there thinking I'm the one that left it in such miserable shape.
Well,
but at the same time, this fan base hasn't exactly been respectful of him. It's a two-way street.
That's true.
They've given him hell like no coach I've ever seen for the last year and a half. Even after he had 2 winning seasons, they were crapping all over him. So I just let it go. Yeah. Both folks. Hopefully he'll be away somewhere as a quality control coach somewhere else next year. But I just think let it go. Your guys' thoughts? Was it disrespectful?
I don't think it was disrespectful. I mean, he's smoking a cigar, he's celebrating, he's on the team he is right now. I mean, you know, I think the interesting part is supposedly he's been saying how he left the cupboard full of talent here at Tennessee. So I kind of wonder about that. But more than anything, I mean, he's going to be that. He's kind of got that Napoleon attitude, so you're kind of going to see that and expect that. And he has some right to. I mean, he has been shot at a lot by this fan base, so all's fair in love and war. You know, you get to take a shot back when you have a chance.
I think if you put yourself in somebody else's shoes and look at it through, okay, how would I react if I had everybody in a town hating me? Most people also, when they're fired, they don't think, boy, I deserve to be fired. They instead look at, but you'd sucked for so long and I took you to 3 straight bowls, which that's what everybody who talked to him last night said he was still saying, ignoring the fact that it fell off the cliff. But from his point of view, everybody ignored the other part. And the reality is it's both. He did have good years that weren't respected, and then he drove it off a cliff, which he's forgotten. Again, I don't think it's disrespectful. Did you think it was disrespectful? You played for him as well.
Right.
What's your take?
No, I played for him, and we had a good relationship when I was there. I do think it's a little childish and emotional in a sense, and that, you know, when Kiffin came back to town, I didn't remember seeing photos of Kiffin coming around smoking cigars and things like that. And you would never think that you're in hierarchy of men that Kiffin would be the higher one on it, but
Well, he didn't take a shot, but Daniel sure just did.
But and I say this, and I love the family and Butch and all, but it's
pop.
when
Hit 'em
you
both.
you know, when you invest in a program like he did, and that's the thing, when you look at, you know, why his offense coordinator went to Indiana, it's because he's talking about how long the hours were and that type of stuff, and you know, some points, and just like in relationships, hey, it just didn't work out. Be done with it. Walk away. Don't try to just get that last jab in just because you can. And I think he'll be a good coach again somewhere after being with Saban.
I didn't take it as disrespectful. He won the game.
And you're somebody that hates Alabama. I mean, you hate.
No, I truly hate Alabama. I hate Alabama to the point where I don't know if they could hire me. I'm just that guy.
He would never.
But, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, but he celebrated, and then that's, coach has always been cool with me. So, he celebrated. That's where he celebrates a win. So be it.
I just, at some point, an ex-coach needs to be an ex-coach.
Mm-hmm.
If you are, if you get a divorce from somebody and you marry your new wife's going to get a little tired of hearing you constantly just talk about your ex-wife.
Yeah.
And there's a portion of this fan base that is more hung up on ex-wives, ex-presidents, ex-chancellors, ex-ADs, ex-coaches, ex-coaching candidates. It's like, just focus on Pruitt. Just
You
focus
mentioned ex-wife though, but like when you get an ex-wife, you can't kiss your new wife in front of them, and that's
He
that's
came
what
back.
Bush is
Yeah.
doing. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Point.
And you can also tell you can tell relationships with Butch too.
Oh, yeah.
Yours not good. Yours okay. Yours was pretty
Mine
good.
was pretty
I mean,
good.
mine was good, but
and then-
he did stuff behind my back, so
Right?
Well, I think
mine was fake with him. I feel.
and I think
There
what
you
it
go.
is.
I'm not
Yeah,
disagreeing
yeah.
with you. Everybody has their own
Yeah.
view of it.
So I
So
think when Butch came in, I think he was initially, a good coach and did things the right way and that type of stuff. Problem was he got overwhelmed, and that's when he did some of the shady stuff that he's talking about, things like that. But once you've taken off that stress, watch some of the clips of him smoking a cigar with the Alabama players. They love the guy down there, and they treat him very well around it too. So
He's a quality control guy, though. I mean, like they bump into him and go, "Hey, how you doing?"
Yeah.
But there were people I saw last night on message boards who were angry with the Tennessee players. A 2-minute clip of Butch Jones walking around on the field after the game. And there were UT players coming over, hugging him, some shaking his hand, UT staff members, former guys that he had worked with, cops, when he was coming into the stadium. And people were mad at them.
Yeah.
How dare you talk to that guy? It's just, to me, stop being the Josie Whales of fan bases and living by the feud. Just let it go. He's gone. He's vapor. He's done his damage. And here, you don't want to be giving this guy room in your head. I mean, he's the one. Everybody's mad now because they picked on him all week, made fun of him. You're an intern, get a coffee. And he got the last laugh. And now everybody's saying, well, the Alabama fans were mocking. The Alabama players who doused him in Gatorade, they were mocking him. They weren't mocking him. Am I wrong that players look for any excuse in the world to go out and win a football game? My guess is last night, he was their excuse. They were happy for him, and they will never think about Butch Jones again down there.
Yeah.
That's about right.
Yeah, he had a moment. And
Exactly.
he had a moment, and it's okay. I mean, it's what sports is all about: moments in time, and he had his.
I probably would not have lit up the cigar, though, if it were me, just because I wouldn't want all this bullshit.
Yeah.
While I'm saying Tennessee need to let him go, he needs to duck out of it, too.
Oh yeah. That's
Let it go.
That's the thing for him. He's never going to get on to get something else either if he keeps living back at it. And by the way, how much money did you get paid? Go cry in it.
Yeah, no. Well, he's not crying. There's the fans here that are crying that he's smoking a cigar. That would be my answer. Maybe he should have, instead of a cigar, he should just rolled up a $100 bill.
And you just lit it with it.
But here's the thing, I guarantee you, Kiffin smoked a cigar in that locker room too, but he didn't let anybody take a picture of him and put it out on social media.
Well, it's a different day and time. Those are years ago now.
Yeah.
Kiffin, that was years ago now.
6?
Yeah, 6 years is a
Actually,
long
no,
time.
it was like 3 or 4 years ago, but even 6 years ago.
Well, but I'm saying even 2 years, social media has just gotten so much more play in the past couple of years. It's incredible. I mean, it's a little different now.
Is Trey Smith playing hurt?
Good question.
I don't know that he's playing hurt as much as he may just be a guard that they're having to use at tackle. And that's not necessarily an easy switch. Some guys make it, some guys don't.
Well, he's even said it. He said, I think Jimmy had a quote of him saying, when you're a guard, you're playing against these big fat boys. And he said, when you get on that edge, he said, those guys have a little bit more wiggle. It's
You're
a lot
playing
harder.
against the Will Overstreets of the world.
Yeah, it is a lot harder because you're going up against a lot faster and a guy that has a lot more room to do what he needs to do. It's just a lot tougher position on pass rush, just that alone. And so, he may just be a better guard, and he's a great player still. He's going to be a great player. It's just his natural position to where an NFL team's going to draft him is probably going to be guard and not at left tackle.
And didn't he have all-season problems with his health?
He didn't take part in spring practice. He didn't do anything in the summer, and he had like a week in fall camp.
And that's the other reason.
That's a big deal.
That's tough to go from guard to that left tackle position and only have a week before you to get ready for it.
And to make matters worse, it's not like he's surrounded by talent, to his right, all the way down the line that allows him to. Oh well, they'll pick up the slack.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy to get exposed on that line because there's holes everywhere. Quarterback. I'll start with you on this one.
Let's go.
A lot of folks wanted Keller Chris the first of the year. Now, after the Auburn game, Jarrett Garantano was a hero. Now, see, that's why we need Chris to start. We never should have had Garantano. You know how that QB position works. They turn quick, man.
Yeah.
Where are you? If you are Jeremy Pruitt, let's assume that Garantano is healthy. Let's say he's 100%. What are you thinking if you're Ty Helton and Jeremy Pruitt and Will Friend, for whatever part he has on making these decisions on that offense? Where are you? Is Garantano your guy when you're not looking back, or are you Garantano until you need a change, or?
Garantano's my guy. I mean, once you make a decision on who's the starter is, you stick with him. I mean, I'll never forget the time when Bobby Bowden did it down in Florida State. Charlie Ward was his starter. They were undefeated. He benched Charlie for a whole game, benched him. The guy behind him ended up being an NFL quarterback and played well in the NFL. But he came back to Charlie because that's his starter. I think once you deem a starter at a quarterback position, you keep him until something goes off the scales. Jared did nothing but display toughness and leadership for this team. He did nothing to lose his job. Now, Keller Chris is a very capable quarterback. He showed that yesterday. He made some incredible throws. Led the team down the field against one of the best defenses you'll see in college football today. Threw some touchdowns. I love the way he played. But my starter is still Jarrett Garantano.
And I think I'm with you on that's your starter, but I think Chris has earned the right to play some downs. I mean, if Pruitt's talking about, well, we were able to put in these different formations, things that Alabama hadn't seen us run before.
But then Alabama went to a nickel, and that was that.
Yeah, but it's just like, but if you've got those,
that's literally what Saban said. So.
But if you've got those things that you can put in and you can do things to give your offense a better chance to succeed, you got to put the guy in there.
And I've always been a fan of playing the second-team quarterback at least 1 to 2 series per game anyway. So I've always been a fan of that. Because you keep him warm, and when it's time for him to get hot, he could even done more than what he did yesterday.
And I think just you have to do that. What Stroh's saying, because listen, you've seen how many hits Garantano's taken. I mean, if you're here one more away, and Chris was your guy, and there is no quarterback decision. It's just you got to go to this guy. That's the big thing why I keep Garantano out there. Is at least I know he can take some hits and get back up from them. I don't know what Chris can do if he gets hit that many times, if he doesn't go out after 3 of them. So right now, I go with the guy, but at the same time, I'm going to get Chris some more time.
Well, here's the thing. If you look, we put the stats up during the show. Garantano's been sacked 14 times this year, 3 times yesterday. Chris hasn't been sacked. Now, he's faced a lot less pressure. The games he's been in, he came in when Garantano got beat around against Florida a little bit, and then he came in and he played UTEP and ETSU. Yep. He came in against Alabama in the second quarter when they were already down 28 points. So I don't know that he's faced the live bullets that Garantano has, but still, 14 sacks to no sacks, that's noticeable. I wonder if, I don't know if it's just picking up a blitz as much as it is setting, it's one and the same, I guess. You tweak it a little bit, but setting his protections and changing his protections at the line. I don't know how great Garantano is. Maybe Christy's better at that. But to me, that would be the concern. If I'm looking at the only thing that would make me think about making a change, the only thing would be Garantano gets hit a lot, whereas Chris hasn't. Maybe you throw him out there.
And that's what I'm saying, but maybe it's just being on the field more, you get whacked.
Yeah.
I mean, let's put it this way. No matter
not
how
all on
well,
Garantano.
no matter how well he sets the protection or not, with this offensive line in front of you, you're going to get smashed.
They had max protection yesterday, and they got to him with 4 guys. I mean, so you get 7 blocking 4, and he still gets through. That's not on Garantano. So, and that's the problem is once we start talking about he's not great at picking up some blitzes, his protection calls might not be perfect, it becomes, that's the problem. It's not the line, it's Garantano. No, it's mainly the line, but this also has to be considered. if Christian's better than that accent, that's something I would consider. But Garantano would still be my guy. Brian, what are you doing at quarterback situation?
Garantano's my guy, and you mentioned he does have a sack problem. His QB clock could be a little bit better, but in my opinion, you'd rather have a quarterback that will sit in the pocket for too long rather than a quarterback who's trying to get rid of the ball and antsy back there and scared. So I feel like it's a testament to him. It definitely gets him in trouble sometimes, but he proved too much in the past that he's our starting quarterback, and we got to stick with him, man.
And I say, but he's got a very short fuse. The last thing you can do is to go into a South Carolina game like Tennessee did a couple of years ago. Dodds is having a bad game, and you just let him finish the game. You got to have that very short fuse, pull him out if things go, like Saban did in the national championship game, because you got Chris there ready.
Okay. Speaking of that, and I don't want to go into this too long, but there was a guy on that field yesterday who held on to the ball too long. But it didn't matter because he kept making plays. Tua is a freak. That guy, I don't know that I've ever seen anything like that.
They held on to the ball too long. When the offensive line has everybody still at the line of scrimmage.
Well, I'm talking about it was second half. Was it second half or second quarter? Second quarter, where he's kind of dancing around and turning and twisting, and he's finally flings one out on the right side, and the guy just kind of makes a half-ass reach with one hand. I thought, your quarterback's busting his ass, spinning like a whirling dervish. At least put two hands on the frickin' ball, you loser. I mean, he's dying for you.
For him to get that pass off, John Pete, I remember that play. Him to get that pass off speaks volumes of his potential at that position.
Here's the thing. The play that stood out to me more than any other, and I know everybody saw it the same way, I'm sure. That first touchdown, where he's buying time, that's the one where he had 6.5 seconds. But still, he doesn't have an open guy.
No.
Thompson's got his man. He's got Judy covered. But he puts that thing in a perfect spot. And Judy, not flustered at all by a man right here, makes the perfect catch. That's just – there's nobody in the country that's going to stop that.
Yeah.
Not Tennessee, not anybody else. They're that good.
It's hard to see how anybody really has a shot. I mean, Alabama's
happen,
playing here,
yeah.
and everybody else is down in this area somewhere. There's not anybody that's equal with them right now.
To me, it reminds me of the '83 Nebraska team, which wound up losing by a point in the Orange Bowl because they went for two. They could have kicked an extra point on the title with a tie, but they went for two, didn't get it, lost the national title that way. And they look like the 0-1 Miami team that you guys would have played, but I think that you'd have beaten them. All right, very good. You heard it.
Mark it down.
Boom. Yeah, Ken Dorsey, screw you, wherever you are. All right. Wasn't he the quarterback on that team?
Yeah.
Right. Very good. Brian Randolph, Will Overstreet, Daniel Hood, Sterling Hinton. Thanks to all these guys. We're going to go smoke cigars. Not put them on social media. Just kidding. See you guys.